What's up, homies? Today I wanted to talk to you guys about self-talk during performance. And in this particular scenario, I'm talking about long-term performance. So I'm talking about more so a marathon than a race. I'm more so talking about longevity, sustainability, and endurance versus short-term aggression. And the reason why I want to talk about this is because these are the moments when we have to tap into our mental endurance more so than mental toughness. And of course, you can tell yourself to stop being a little bitch all you want, but I'm trying to help people who actually care about their mental health. If I were to put it in a different perspective, what does it actually mean for you to stop being a little bitch? What are the practical steps that follow if you tell yourself to stop being a little bitch? That might work for some people who are in the last minute, the last 30 seconds, the last 10 seconds, and they literally have to tap into everything and all they've got in order to last. So that's the short term. Like, do whatever the fuck you want. What I'm talking about is not even knowing when things are going to come to an end, or during a process where we all know that it's going to take a long ass time. For example, you could be going on a run, you could be going through camp and weight cut, you could be an entrepreneur and it takes like 10 years to actually get to where you want to be, because everybody knows that not everything is an overnight success. Tell me, who the fuck has ever come out on top with a healthy mind state, with a healthy mental state and emotional state by telling themselves for 10 years every single day to stop being a little bitch? So if you can't actually answer me when I ask you what are the practical steps that follow the advice of stop being a little bitch, then I would like to introduce to you this other side of self-talk. Yes, it's about mental toughness and aggression, but it's also about mental endurance. A Navy SEAL even has once said that if you don't take care of your emotional state, you're gonna fail physically. Because human beings are emotional creatures by nature. We are literally equipped in our brains. We're created with our brains to process emotions.
What I learned early on when I started teaching mental toughness is that that's only like half the equation. What goes on in your mind, like you could be firm about not quitting but just be weak emotionally. And it doesn't matter how much you think about not quitting, you're still gonna quit. You can't feel your way through it. It's just too painful to think about the alternative, right, of staying with something. Or you get overwhelmed emotionally with an event and you make a catastrophic decision that you instantly regret, but it's a one-shot deal in something like Bud. You can be mentally tough and not really connected deeply to a sense of purpose. And the first sign of real pain, like serious pain where like you didn't expect this level of discomfort, then you start looking for ways out and you start getting angry. Angry at yourself, angry at the coaching staff, or you start feeling pity, right? And so all those emotions start to come up. The primary component of emotional resiliency is self-control. Self-control has both a mental and emotional component. They're really so closely tied. And so that's like that saying we have, where the mind leads, the body follows. It's equally true that where the body leads, the mind follows.
So let's talk about it. What if, instead of telling yourself to stop being a little bitch, you become more intentional and purposeful about the way that you talk to yourself? What if we took a moment to set our intentions, focus on the strategies, focus on our weaknesses, focus on the plan of attack for the day? What if we intentionally aligned ourselves to the goal of the day before training, before starting to work, and be very clear of the goals ahead? And then during the performance, instead of telling yourself to stop being a little bitch, suck it up, keep going. What if we were to remind ourselves, I'm in this with a purpose. I am purposeful, I'm intentional, I'm focused. And repeating that in our minds. Because we don't go through training or we don't go through working just to get through it. Every session has a purpose, right? And just because doing the work is a part of the legacy, just because doing the work is a part of the progress, does not mean that we have to go through it just because we have to. We should want to. Each session is supposed to help us become better, become stronger. Each session has a purpose. So why go through it blindly? Why go through it just breeze it by? Why not be intentional? Why not invite yourself to refocus on the goal? Because whatever you practice and whatever you repeat during your sessions should become so automatic and so repetitive that it becomes completely automatic and autopilot when fight day comes. This should become a way of being. So yeah, the last 30 seconds or the last 10 seconds, you can tell yourself to stop being a little bitch and come out on top. That's fine. Do whatever works for you, bubbo. But when it comes to long-term performances, your mental state really, truly, really does matter. And it will actually only do you good if you were to acknowledge that and accept that. I would hate for any of you to look back at a match or a fight and say, I could have done better this way and that, or I wish this, that, and the third. I would hope for you that you were intentional and present all the way through, and you've given your best all the way through, and leave with no regrets. Would you tell yourself to stop being a little bitch in the first round of a fight? Cause what the fuck does that do? That has no plan of attack. There's no practical strategies to that. What do you think your end results can look like, and your overall performance and the longevity and sustainability of your performance can look like if you were to be continuously intentional, purposeful, and present all the way through? You don't always have to tell yourself to stop being a little bitch to perform well. You don't have to always hate the other person that you're fighting to be aggressive. Thanks for watching.